Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
On first down, Ryan. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now here's Ross. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And now will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 15 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan, complete. The tight end, Kelsey. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. And even 50 receiving yards for him now in this first quarter alone, and also a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Two-time All-Pro center Jason Kelsey is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Switch up. Switch up. Jump.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The last catch nearly got him a 1st, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
Sponge, go.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
To throw is Murray. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Hayden Hurst, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Freeman. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Murray now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
This is something that we expected to see. McCaffrey used out of the backfield. 107 catches in 2018, the most in one season by an NFL running back.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hunter Renfrow with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals have taken the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now on 2nd and 13. Ryan over the middle. He finds Godwin complete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Ryan. To the right side, it's Kelsey. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Ross on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 79 yards. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, the spin. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And the Bengals grab it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes left side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now it's Ryan. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
52. 57's the mic. 54.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. And caught right side, Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the great state of Ohio. Miami in town to take on Cleveland. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, it's off to Chicago. Check on the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Danny Amendola, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Will Fuller, a touchdown reception. In our game, it was a rookie Kyler Murray showing the flash that made him choose football over baseball. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And able to find Green. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. First down, Murray. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime in trying to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Murray now. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base,
and he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Ben Gideon. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But now it'll be third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Ryan to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On third down, it's Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Got you. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. He's got daylight. The 40, 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Christian McCaffrey, 78 yards, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's Odell Beckham Jr. 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
There's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, we have that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, at pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people. And oftentimes, you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle him.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Undercrush.
Running on first down, Eckler. A gain of 3, second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Murray. Staying on his feet. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now, the Bengals on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw, it's Murray. And the pressure gets to him again. Leonard Floyd drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ryan on first down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
11 more on that one, and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. To throw again is Ryan. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a handoff, Henderson. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check 22. You got opposite. You got tight right there. Watch it.
Malage. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 32 on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. the defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Murray to air it out again. Dancing to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Nazir Jones cruises in for the sack. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Murray now, 3rd and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
To throw is Ryan. Caught left side by Cobb. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Here's Ryan. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. 50 catches for him now. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
too soft. Hey.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Ready, set. Mike 57, Mike 57. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Ready, ready.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this is going to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's McSorley to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
On the set. 57's low. Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's caught by Waller out left side.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Hey, lock it. Not today. Whip, 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 go.
Here's McSorley on 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there. And now it's 2nd down. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. A 33-yarder from the left hash. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.